Okay, hello everybody. Hold on a second. I want to make sure I hit the record button, okay? Alright, get this camera situated. This is going to be a good video, so pay attention closely to all of my statements that I make in it. And the key to understanding the subject matter in reference to at least getting a preliminary introduction into what I'm stating is to take what I state and research each description in-depthly, cross-reference the information that comes up pertaining to each description, cross-reference it, and then synthesize it. And you should at least come up with a pictorial representation, a visual representation pertaining to the subject matter. Now, sorry, stay with this video. I guarantee you'll be glad that you did. Now, this video is being made for informative purposes, to inform, to expose. Okay? It's being made to inform, to expose to the general population and to educate fellow targeted individuals of the specific type of crime that is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. Before I start describing these aforementioned things, I'm going to make a fast statement. If anybody approaches me at this area for the whole time duration of while I'm making this video, and even afterwards, for the next 2 days pertaining to where I'm at any time that I am at, the spot that I am at, or anywhere on this property, no matter what is said verbally, no matter what transpires, no matter who it is, no matter what they say or how they say it, it will absolutely be nothing but organized stalking staged events, which are called street theaters and gang stalking. Okay, so check it out. If at any time in this video I gotta look around me, it's because it's very important that I stay attentive to what is occurring around me or might. Now, fellow American citizens, if you want to try and get a better understanding of that, just go to Google and type in GPS tracking and organized stalking, covert physical surveillance and organized stalking. Now, hold on one second. This is going to be a good video. Stay with it. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is describe quite a few things, and I was going to say something that I decided not to. Okay, so here it goes. Whenever there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of target individuals all over the internet begging for help, and if you do your research pertaining to these just mentioned statements, you will see that I'm telling you the truth. Petitions online, blogs online, YouTube videos online, forums where people are getting together and talking. They're teleconferencing as well on alternative radio shows online. This crime has been discussed on national TV shows like The Brain Invaders with Jesse Ventura. You can also YouTube that and watch that show. It's been covered on Coast to Coast AM radio show, which is actually a worldwide radio show. It's been covered on Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis. And it's been covered on other alternative media platforms. So, and it's even been covered on local news broadcasts in a marginalized fashion. So, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to state different things, and it should give you enough information to at least help you research what I state, but make no mistake about it. The things that I'm going to state in this video is by no means not even 0.01% of the totality of the intricate-ness of what is happening concerning organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions. Now, stay with this video. I'm going to fly right into the subject matter right now. Now remember, what I state can be researched. And I'm basically mostly saying that to the general population because they've never even heard of the things that I'm going to be describing. Okay? And as far as gang stalking victims go, they might not even be aware they're a gang stalking victim, and even if they are, they still might not have enough educated knowledge in order to explain some of the things that can be happening to them. So, fellow American citizens, so I'm just going to fly right into it right now. There's certain technological resources that can be perpetrated against organized stalking, gang stalking targets, whether they're aware they're targets of gang stalking yet or not. And what I'm going to do is first get the name of these technologies, and then I'm going to describe some of them. Okay, heterodyning, scalar projected audible distinguishable aerial harassment, which is alpha wave transmissions. Okay, V2K, voice to skull, remote neural monitoring. Okay, let's see what else. The microwave hearing effect. Now, remember, take what I state and research it, and then complement it with what I state pertaining to how they are being described all over the internet, and pertaining to how they can be used against specific target individuals of this crime. Now, here's some examples. Say you're sitting anywhere, okay? Now, I'm not stating this is happening to me, and I'm not stating that it's not, okay? Targets have to be careful about what they state is occurring towards them, because the system that is perpetrating these criminal realities, okay, have propped up and set in protective mechanisms within the system to protect itself in reference to what it's doing to Americans. And these expeditions are going on worldwide in other countries as well. So when I state that this video is being made to inform the American public, it's being made to inform the human family. Okay, because these expeditions are not just happening in America. So we have to be very careful about what we state is happening to us outwardly, okay, because the system will use what we state against us to claim that we're mentally ill, a threat to ourselves or others, that we can't take care of ourselves, in order to contain us, to stop the exposure. Hold on. Now, another one of the specific technologies that is being implicated all over the internet, that is being used against organized stalking, gang stalking target individuals, is called the silent sound spectrum. It can also be called the silent sound spread spectrum. Now, also I'm going to state, if anybody comes onto this property within 170 feet of me while I'm making this video, or any time that I am or any time that I am on this property at any time within 48 hours, it'll be gang stalking. Now, just trust me on this. I do what I do for a reason, and I'm going to literally even also expose to you a blog title. I'll just do it right now. Go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library, are they networking gang stalking? When you research what's in that blog, you'll indisputably walk away and say, this woman's not only being gang stalked, but it's a friggin' criminally insane. It's criminally insane that the perpetrators who are at least implicated in that blog are able to walk away from what they've done and what they are still doing. Hold on. Okay, so here's some of the examples that I was beginning. Here's an example of what target individuals can experience. Okay, imagine you're sitting at home, or in a park, or at a bus stop even, or in a library. No matter where you might be sitting at. Okay, and I got some squirrel activity going on around me right now. Say you all of a sudden start hearing voices talking at different selected spots around you from a distance. Now you're perceiving that through your ears, and you're scoping the area with your eyes, but yet you see no one. Okay? You might think to yourself, well, maybe I'm just, hearing sounds that are in the environment that might be similar to the phonic sounds of words. Okay, so you blow it off. Okay, so you might be in the same environment and you continue to hear it, or you might go to a different one and you hear it there. Now, what this is it's called alpha wave transmissions, where they can pop sounds at different vectored spots using scalar projected audible distinguishable meaning that you can distinguishably hear them from all the other background noise. Yet it's inappropriate for you to hear these things because no one's in the room. If you're in a library and you look up and no one's talking, if you're in a bathroom stall, no one's in the bathroom. If you're in your own bathroom, in your own house, alone. Okay, so you continue to hear these things in multiple different locations on multiple different dates, sometimes all the time. And you may think to yourself, how am I hearing this? How could you be hearing this? Because what they are is it's projected sounds from voice prints that a computer is transmitting to pop around in the environment as a result of the air being used as the carrier. Just like when you sit in front of a fan and you go, ah, and the fan blades are displacing that sound wave, and as a result what comes out of the fan is you know how you did that when you were little? In a sense, that's the same concept, because what the sound blades are doing is chopping up that sound wave. Okay, and then the actual air that is being ventilated through the fan is carrying that sound wave. It's the same example. What these perpetrators are doing is using the air as a carrier, because it moves. It's moving the sound, the frequency that's carrying the sound, and then the sound is popping. Okay, and it's basically nothing but sound waves carrying these distinguishable aerial harassment. Okay, which means that it's aerial, but it's also audible. It's the best way I can explain it right now. To give you, and it's also directional. It's intentionally directional. And there's information online that parabolic antennas are being used for this, so you can research that as well. Using scalar projections. It's very interesting. It's extremely technical. So just research what I've already stated in reference to the microwave hearing effect, alpha wave transmissions. You can also go to YouTube and Google and type in John Hall satellite terrorism. That's a must. Okay. Remote neural monitoring. Okay. So that right there pretty much accurately described alpha wave transmissions, at least enough for you to get a visual representation to where, I'm sorry, they gave you enough information to where you can research it. And then from the research, it should be able to complement my statements. Hold on. Now, but take note to this, only the target can hear it, because, hold on. The reason why only targets can hear this is because the frequency of the sound of voice prints that's popping around the target at any distance. Okay, they can even pop a clear voice being said 10 feet away from a target. Just like I'm talking now. Literally. Okay. The only reason why the target can hear it and no one else can is because that sound wave has been synchronized, okay, to identically match with the resonance frequency of that target individual's brain, remote neural monitoring. So only their audio cortex can hear it. Because everybody's biomagnetic field of their brain has one unique resonance frequency, just like your fingerprint. So just research what I'm saying. Once you research what I'm saying, you'll see I'm telling you the absolute truth. Hold on. Absolutely. Because it's all over the internet, including the patents for it. So research what I'm stating pertaining to that. Now, let's move forward to V2K. Voice to skull is basically nothing but where they can literally transmit harassing dialogue, anything, into the target's, right into the target's audio cortex, including even using the target's own voice print. This is where John Hall calls them subliminal messages or artificial thoughts. And this is done to direct neural influence, for psychological direction, to get you to believe you're having your own thought to try and get you to do something. While the get up and go response, okay, which is an innate response. Let me give you an example about the get up and go response. Now, bioweapons effects map. Google that, and you should come up with a picture, okay, of an outline of a body. And as a result of you seeing this outline, sorry about all the background noise. As a result of you seeing that outline of a biological body, okay, it's just like an outline of a body, and then right next to specific spots on that body is a text that explains how the psychotronic Google that as well, and YouTube it too, how these psychotronic weapons can affect different areas of the biological system from head to toe. Okay, from head to toe. Okay. Now there's an innate physiological system called the get up and go response, and let me give you an example of that. Whenever we have a desire or a motive or an intention to get up and go do something, I gotta go to Walmart, I gotta go to McDonald's, I gotta go to the store, I gotta go to the bank. We have this thought because there's a motive attached to it. The intention to get up and go directs our brain to direct our motor cortex associated behaviors to get up and go, and then to actually do the function of going. Now, that was a consciously induced motivation based on the need. Okay? But the get up and go response is actually an innate response. Let me give you an example about this. Say you're sitting at a bus stop and you're not thinking of nothing. You're sitting there smoking a cigarette, just enjoying the environment of the cars going by. And then all of a sudden you hear a car wreck, or a loud firecracker go off, or a car backfiring. Okay? Or something slamming real loud. You get up. Now that wasn't a thought to get up, that was a reaction to get up. Because the get up and go response is an innate physiological signal. It's hardwired in the brain. Okay? So, they can literally interject using, it's called voice morphing, voice modulating, voice synthesizing. They can literally take a copy of your voice print, just like I got a sound of my own voice that you're hearing me speak now. They can incorporate that within the computer that is incorporated, that has remote neural monitoring in it, the microwave hearing effect, the V2K, and artificially run software, artificial intelligence run software that is being monitored by a human being. They then think to themselves, well, how do we want to psychologically, neurally influence this specific person to get up and go to a specific spot so a staged event can occur towards them? Anything, rape, assault, robbery, arrest, intimidation, anything that will induce fear. Well, what they'll do is they'll sit down and they'll type in the computer, I better get up and go get my stuff. Okay, like say if you're at a camping area, I better go up and get my stuff, or I'm going to go look for a different camping area, or I'm going to go look for a different hiking area. They type that into the keyboard, and then this streamlined, structured sentence, okay, it's typed in, and then it's attached to the voice print, voice morphing. It is then transmitted into the target's audio cortex below the perceptual radar, which means that the target does not know that the third party is doing this to them. As this is being transmitted into the target's audio cortex, okay, it can be called microwave hearing effect and V2K, the get up and go response can be stimulated. So the target believes they're just having a thought to get up and go do something. Okay. Let me give you another example. You can also go to Google and type in remote neural monitoring space, which means the space bar, biotronics.com, and thoroughly research how remote neural monitoring can monitor everything concerning the biological system, not just what the target's processing pertaining to their subvocal speech, which is basically your internal dialogue, but also your brain states, your emotions, how high you're functioning, how low you're functioning, emotionally, mentally, your thinking, how you're thinking. It can monitor all your physiological signals, which control your musculatory system, your breathing, your heart rate, okay, everything. Say, for instance, if a target individual is like sleeping in a sleeping bag or in the privacy of their own home, and they're having an anxiety attack because they're aware that somehow they're being manipulated because photos are being literally transmitted for the target individual to see in their video cortex with their eyes closed. Streamlined video productions or still frame photos are being streamlined through into the target individual's video cortex for them to see as their eyes are closed. Just bear with me a second, okay? Okay? And then their body is reacting to it. The remote neural monitoring is monitoring how the target's responding to what is being transmitted into the video cortex as this is occurring. Okay. They're monitoring the heart rate, the breathing, the physiological signals, okay, the anxiety, everything. So the target individual might start breathing heavy, and then they will transmit through the microwave hearing effect or V2K, what's the matter with him? What's the matter with her? Why is he breathing so hard? Even before the breath is completed. Because the remote neural monitoring monitors you neurally, remotely, from a distance at a trillions of flops per second. The brain processes information at the millisecond. Do you understand? Now, can you imagine all of this happening to you and you not having any idea how all this shit is being done? Hold on. Alright, so my battery bar is flashing right now, so if this video stops while I'm in the middle of talking, just know that that's what happened, so don't dismiss anything I've stated. Now, I've been on the Ground Zero show with Clyde Lewis on several occasions. On several occasions. Those radio show broadcast links are in that blog I told you about earlier. UCSD and Law Library, Are They Networking Gang Stalking? I was discussing the Blue Brain Project with Daniel Estulin, who's all over YouTube. He's been on the Alex Jones Show, he's been on Coast to Coast, he's been on Ground Zero. Okay, discussing different things. Transhumanism, the whole 9 yards. I called up the show and spoke with Daniel Estulin and Clyde Lewis personally. I asked him if he knew about the Blue Brain Project. Google that. Blue Brain Project. And he said, no. I said, well, he goes, well, where did you hear this term from? I told him that I discovered it as I was researching at Google, mind uploading, mind hacking, and mind transfer technologies. He said, no, it's called remote neural monitoring, and then he went on to talk about some of the functions of it. So you can go to Google, and you can also type in, hold on. You can go to Google and type in Ground Zero Clyde Lewis, hit enter, and then once you hit enter, bring up his website. Once you get to his website, go to the feature on it. Okay, towards the top of the web page that says Listen Now, click on that. A little menu will fall down. Once that menu falls down, scroll down to where you see where it says Listen on SoundCloud. Click on that. Once you click on that, a bunch of his archived past shows will come up. And just scroll through them. And go to the 2014 show. Daniel Estulin, I think it's called Humanity, the Deconstruction of Humanity. Okay, that's the show. That's one of the shows that I'm on. Okay, so and you can also scroll through their blog, UCSD and Law Library, Are They Networking Gang Stalking? You'll see the other shows that I've been on concerning me being on the Ground Zero show with Clyde Lewis. So, and you'll clearly be able to hear Clyde Lewis and also John Hall's all over the internet exposing remote neural monitoring as well. Hold on. So Google and YouTube remote neural monitoring. Google and YouTube John Hall satellite terrorism. Remote neural monitoring included. Or separate. Okay. And you'll come to understand the factual realities of what I'm stating. Hold on. Around here is crazy. So, fellow American citizens, if you had any idea what this technology is additionally being used for outside of the non-consensual military human experimentation, why is DARPA all over the internet to be directly implicated to it and gang stalking? How much money are they making off their research pertaining to what they're doing to the specific target individuals of gang stalking, okay, that they're using this technology against them for? Not just the non-consensual human experimentation, but also for criminal aspirations, including everything that you can think of: human trafficking, sexual servitude rings, land co-opting, property co-opting, mortgage co-opting, trust fund liquidation, identity theft, illegal probate control. Can you imagine this technology being used on an elderly person combined with gang stalking, okay, and she's falsely, intentionally, criminally diagnosed by a doctor, okay, who's part of the syndicate that is attached to gang stalking, who labels her as being mentally ill, dementia, delusional, whatever, so they can get a hold of her in order to co-opt her property and her finances. Do you think that they're only doing this to the elderly? Of course not. They're doing this to the disabled, single women, single mothers, single fathers. They're doing this to anybody and everybody they can get a hold of. So, fellow American citizens, the research alone is making them hundreds of thousands of dollars, because every bit of research that they ascertain through the heterodyning is being sold to multiple, over and over and over again to different research groups, including universities. And the target is left penniless, homeless, exploited in the worst ways your mind can conceive and cannot, while these filthy maggots get to live in comfortable houses and apartments every day. I suggest you go to Google and YouTube and type in police and gang stalking, because they're used at the local level to keep the target in line. Fuck yeah, they are. And police can also be victims of this crime. Okay? So, fellow American citizens, I made this video, and if you're a targeted individual, I want you to listen to me very carefully. If you're hearing these elf wave transmissions in your environment, no matter what environment you're hearing them in, or you're experiencing B2K, I want you to listen to me. Do you notice how when you hear it, you're not hearing no toilets flushing? You're not hearing people laughing. You're not hearing dogs barking. You're not hearing coughing. You're not hearing any normal background noise. Ever. Now, when we are in grocery stores, libraries, bathrooms, your own home, your apartment complex, and you're hearing voices, but you're not hearing any other normal type of environmental noises, or people coughing, sneezing, farting, toilets flushing, appliances being used as these with these voices, that should tell you right there that it's not mechanical, it's electrical sound. They're computer-generated voice scripts. And if you're being harassed based on the theme of your thoughts, which are your evoked potentials, it's because your evoked potentials are being read in real time. The computer monitors it, deciphers it, and then transmits back harassing dialogue pertaining to the theme of what you're thinking. It's gaslighting. It's also done to make you paranoid. So also go to Google and YouTube and so also go to the Ground Zero show and look at the broadcast of 9/04/2015. Sorry, but when it gets windy here, things fall from the tree, and I have to make sure that it's not somebody walking around. I've been assaulted 7 times as a result of being a victim of gang stalking. So I have to watch my environment. Fellow American citizens, I made this video to inform, to expose the truth. Take what I state and research it. You just would not believe what is happening to gang stalking victims. You just would not believe it. And in closing, we're lied about. We're told to the population, community members who are used to harass us, that we're social deviants, criminals, lowlifes, in order to motivate them to harass us for them, mostly for free. Google slander and gang stalking. Fake bogus criminal investigation files and gang stalking. Go to YouTube and type in listen to a stranger. So now you know. Now another good technology that you can go to look up on YouTube and Google is called, oh shoot, what's the name of that? I forgot the name of it. It's this really old technology. The audio spotlight. Okay. That should give you an immediate visual representation to show you that directional sound can just be transmitted towards one person in a room full of people, and only that one person would hear it. Okay, that will give you a good preliminary start, so you can see that the other stuff I've described is true. And patented technologies for this, in reference to the electronics and how it's all brought about, is all over the internet. So Google the patents of each of these described descriptions, and you'll see that it's all over the internet. The microwave hearing effect, V2K, all of the patents are all over the internet. The remote neuromonitoring, everything is all over the internet. Alright, so in closing, go to YouTube and type in United Target Individuals Europe extended version. Go to Google and YouTube and type in stopthecrime.net. Go to Google and type in bugsweep.com. Go to Google and type in oh shoot, I forgot this other one. Oh crap, I'm having a whiteout. Oh, surveillanceissues.com. And I want to make an additional statement here to police officers. Be careful. Go to Google and YouTube and type in the Hemet Police Gang Squad Gang Stalked. And make sure that you look at all links thoroughly and meticulously that are in the descriptions of those YouTube videos. Thoroughly. And then research what's in them. Because police officers are also being targeted. And at that second, well, they're targeting the kids of targets, even infants. They're murdering targets' pets. Okay? They're making targets' children illegally and criminally wards of the state for racketeering purposes, federal and state funds, and they're also doing that to targets. Racketeering, violations of the RICO Act, money. Okay. So when you look at the dangerous employment description that police officers are attached to, and if they're being set up, okay. You know, these are people that are going out there to try and protect our communities, and then they're being set up by syndicated cops and the organized crime they're attached to. So be careful, cops. Alright, I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California. Now, me looking around like this, see, when you're assaulted 7 times, and you know, well, and you know that you're being tracked to along your routes, okay? Where you go to rest at, you know it for a fact. I'm going to prove it in this video as long as the video don't stop before I can bring this up. And you can prove it, you got to be aware of your surroundings. Okay? So, what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for a phone to boot up so I can play you an Instagram file to show you that I'm right now in your face that I'm being gang stalked. And if this video stops, just look for all the evidence videos that are in the blog that I told you about. You'll be able to indisputably see him being gang stalked. But I wanted to, you know, just basically throw that in there, that me looking around is my way to make sure that I'm safe because of things that have already happened to me, okay, as a result of being a victim of this crime, and you would not believe what has happened to me. You just would not believe it. You just would not believe it. You just would not believe it. And I can't get one bit of help from my elected officials, law enforcement, and be careful about trusting lawyers. Okay? Go to Google and type in lawyers and gang stuff. You just would not believe the things that have happened to me. The things that have happened to me and that are happening to my fellow target individuals would at least put these little filthy criminal maggots in prison for the rest of their lives. Literally. That's no exaggeration. One of the two men that played a role in this was one of the at least 3 men that they had propped up to hike out close to me at a specific hiking area between late 2012, 13, and up until March of 2014. And they harassed me day and night at that area by constantly yelling, gang stalk, gang stalking, gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalk, why don't you come and steal her stalk, gang stalk, why don't you call the cops on her? Every day, sometimes day and night, non-stop. One of the 2 men that played a role in the event you just heard was one of those 3 men. So go to that blog. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Estulin Williams. And I've been assaulted 7 times. You just heard him say, gang of stalking, I'll fuck you up. So whenever I hear a sound in my environment, it instinctively compels me to pay attention concerning what's going on around me because of who might be approaching this area. And this is how I live in part every day. Every day. Alright, please research what I stated in this video and remember what I said concerning these elf wave transmissions. Notice how you don't hear sneezing, coughing, toilets flushing, appliances going on in the background, okay? Cell phones going on. You just hear people talking with harassing dialogue. Now, do you really think that if you're a target experiencing this, especially for years at a time, every day, and you don't hear any of these natural environmental noises going on as you're hearing the voice prints, do you really honestly think that those are humans standing outside your door? Outside your window? No, it's electronic. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.